everyone. We are on the road again today. Very chilly road today, but we're getting ready to heat things up a bit. We are here with Jeff, Joe, and John, and boy, do they have some cool rides to show us.
And
John too.
And Mark.
Yeah, hey guys.
So yeah, we want to see what they brought out today.
That's right. So we're out here at Jesse's place. So Jesse's place has a quick story is that we were looking for a place to meet up and eat somewhere close to downtown. So I scrolled through Facebook, I found Jesse's place. So as I'm scrolling through to see what's going on, to see if I can find a menu, I see these cars that are out here parked in the lot. So they're actually on the Facebook page, and we know these guys from previous car shows and all that. So they were gracious enough to come out here on this frigid day to let us do a little bit of on the road one-on-one with them. So guys, stay tuned. We're gonna slice and dice this. We have some cool cars. So John, tell us what you brought out today. 69 Barracuda. What did you bring out with?
My 69 Camaro.
You got a 69 Camaro. And Jeff, what you got?
Then the 61 Impala.
There you go. All right, so
We're all good except for the moped that's here.
That's all right. That's right. We were all at the hall show anyway. So one was on one side of the street, the other on the other side of the street. So stay tuned. We're going to slice this up, and we'll see you in a bit. All right, so we're still out here at Jesse's place. We're out here with John. We're out here interviewing him about his Barracuda today. It's a 69 Barracuda, so tell us a little bit about your Barracuda. Take it all the way back to when you picked it up.
Well, to be honest with you, this thing came all the way from Texas.
Okay, from Texas, gotcha.
And I wanted a Formula S, which I had back in '68, but the prices were a little strong on it.
Right.
So this was a cheaper model. Slowly, year after year, I did things to it and got it in the shape I wanted. It's not all Mopar. Part of it is spare parts from other cars, 4-link, transmissions, everything you can think of.
There you go.
You seem to get, as time goes on, you think you got it all done, but then all of a sudden you think, oh, one more thing won't hurt it.
Yeah, we got it. We can piece a lot of stuff together, and then there's always something else to do, right?
Well, the good thing is, being retired,
yep,
I have more time. I use the things off of 68 Formula S that I wanted, but I also put things that I wish I'd had the money to do back then.
Right, right.
And I'm happy with it.
Right.
I can drive it around town, drive it to the shows, and I've had a lot of fun.
That's
some
the
great
name of the game,
people.
is having fun, yeah.
Well,
and then meeting folks like these guys here that you've become fast friends with. How long has that relationship been?
See, I moved back to California in 2002, and I lived one house away from Jeff, right? It took a while because he was in the Navy and he was a border carrier at the time. So I got to know his son and everything, and it just sort of snowballed. Now his son called me Grandpa.
That's awesome.
I don't know whether that's good or bad.
I mean, that's what it's all about. That's one of the common themes that we see when we go around and do these interviews is that, you know, there's a history with the car, but there's also folks that you get to know and become very close with and whatnot. And I understand you guys come here to Jesse's place quite a bit.
Usually on the days we make a show, we didn't do it as many times this year.
Sure.
But usually when there's a show going on and everything, we stop here at breakfast at 7 o'clock and then go to a particular show. We try to go to different ones.
Right.
It's interesting, the small things you start doing. Dash plaques. A lot of them give dash plaques.
Right.
I've got a piece of plastic in my garage that I got from Home Depot, pretty big, and I glue them all to this. When it gets full, then I'll be able to put it in the back of the Barracuda.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Yeah, so dash plaques are definitely a perk that you have at some of the shows and all that. It's definitely, some people love the dash plaques, some people don't care about them, other people think they're a waste of money, but it definitely it gives you a glimpse of what you did back then, you know, and it takes you back to that moment, who I was parked next to, and whether I won, whether I lost, and whether that rat dirty bastard, he done me dirty. Sometimes you get that as well. But anyhow, tell us one cool thing about the car here that you've done recently, because I know that we haven't been wrenching as much as we have in the past, but what are we doing to keep this thing on the road and out of trouble?
Well, it stays on the road pretty good. a little bit of tinkering
Okay.
and everything. I still want to put air on it.
Right, right.
Although the Formula S didn't have air. When you drive down and you get out of your seat
Yeah.
and you're perspiring from putting
Sweating.
it down the back.
Uh-huh.
The advantage of new cars is
Yeah, this one still has the event window, so you can always flip those vents in to blow you right in the face
Well, it's
with
got
hot
the
air
two.
otherwise.
It's got the two down in the kick panel.
Okay, there you
You
go.
open up and there's a hole to the outside,
Uh-huh.
and that cools the front of you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything to your back.
All right, very good. Anything else that you wanted to say about the car?
No, I've just been real happy with it.
Okay, gotcha.
Parts are a little hard to come by, but that's all part of the game.
Yeah, sure. So definitely, I mean, that's it. And again, yeah, parts are hard to come by for some of these older cars. So if you have a Mustang, there's 12 different catalogs that you can look through that has all these old parts. For this one, what do you use for sourcing parts? I mean, do you look for used stuff, or do they have any?
Usually starts like year one and Classic Industries out on the West Coast and everything. They're about the biggest number, but you've got, after a while you learn there's junkyards out on the West Coast. Until somebody tells you, what is it, Wildcat out there deals with mostly Mopar
Okay.
and everything. Sometimes you have to get a piece that is rusty and everything, but you're going to have to clean it up and you have to paint it and
Yeah.
everything.
So you got to do
But
a
that one piece
restoration
you
before the
need-
restoration.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But mine is not a restoration, it's a replica. But I do what I want to, what I want for myself.
Which is great, and that's what we encourage everybody
Yeah,
to do. I
that's
mean,
it,
you're
yeah.
you're building it for yourself, and again, this is a driver for you. You guys go back and forth to cruise-ins, car shows, and cruises themselves too. So I mean, that's all part of what we all aspire to be able to do, is to be able to have our time to build the car that we wanted. Some of us grow up and we keep our childhood car, but that's not the most common theme. Most of the time, you get to the point of where I've got a little bit of money to where I can do something fun, and it's going to be a car, and that's the way that it goes. All right.
Hopefully it'll continue. I know California's thinking about outlawing gasoline engines.
Oh, wow. Yep. Yeah, there's always a lot of threats, but it's going to be hard to beat that
And
American
they're
horsepower
probably number
thirst.
one. They're
Yeah.
probably number one in hot rods and everything in the whole country. And I think they're going to have their hands full.
Yeah. All right, so I just want to say thanks to John for coming out and hanging out with us. Thanks for showing us the Barracuda. Check him out at the local shows. He comes out and he supports the 757 events. He's been out to the Chevy Lovers events. He goes out to the cruise-ins as well. So if you stop by and check out the Barracuda, say hi to John. All right, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you in just a bit with Joe
I
or
think.
Jeff.
All right, so we have our second contestant here today that we're talking with, and of course, in case some of you have just now realized that we're doing the On the Road series for the Coastal Virginia Auto Show, I'm a big Chevrolet Camaro guy. I actually own a '68 Camaro, and in talking with Joe this morning, we found out that we kind of have something similar in that he bought this Camaro right behind him here when he was 16. And so you've had it the entire time.
Yeah, the story starts back actually in 1969.
Okay.
My brother-in-law showed up at that time, my boyfriend and sister. He bought it brand new. And they got married, dated for less than probably a year, got married, and got married in 71, had 2 kids, and by 75 it was too small for 2 kids. And,
So you're the second owner.
I'm the second owner.
And there we go, parallel
yeah,
path. I'm the second owner of mine.
Yeah, and I'm just lucky to, at this point in my life, still be able to hold
Sure,
on to it.
sure.
Yeah.
So take us through there's obviously some things that have happened to this car from 1975 to now that you've done, and improvements you've made. Did you do a frame-off restoration? Did you do any
in
kind of work to it?
2007, in 76, my brother and I painted it, fixed some of the remarkable thing about this car was I bought it in 75, and by that time the fenders were already rusted out. The lower fenders
So where
were already
would that
rusted
be?
out.
Where'd you pick it up
Where'd you
from?
get it from?
Here.
Oh, it was here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, and it was
Yeah.
already rain
Yeah.
and water, and
And
the
General Motors
typical.
didn't do a good job rust proofing. But
Yeah.
anyway, I managed to patch that at that time, and then in 81 it got stolen.
Oh.
Yeah, went to New Jersey. Took me 6 months. The cops finally found it and retrieved it, got it back. It sat in storage for about 20 years. And in 07, I had a very good year, so it was an opportunity to pull it out. My wife was behind me. So
There you go. That's important.
Yes, it was. And we had to pull it out and got a frame-off restoration. The modern, the four-wheel disc brakes,
Right.
power disc brakes. What else did we put on? I'm getting ready to put vintage air.
There you go.
Yeah, get it. It needs little things here and there, but it's fun to drive.
There you go.
Yeah,
And I
just
just
be
don't-
prepared. That fender over there has to come off in order to do vintage air. So.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Have you done it? Yeah.
So any other improvements to the engine? Gone through the engine?
Yes,
and
the
reworked it?
engine. Yeah, I stuck with a mile cam because I know I did want to drive it on the street. Mile cam, 4-barrel carburetor upgrade. I'm getting ready to put headers on it. I put the stock manifolds on it, but I'm rethinking that.
Yeah, for the time being, putting the stock stuff back on, it'll buy you some time, and it'll, ultimately you got to test it out, make sure she's going to stay on the road, be sturdy, and then do some of those little button-up, bolt-on things. That's the least of your worries at sometimes.
Yeah, but it does, and there's enough out there as budgets allow you can do these kind of things.
So now we were talking to John, and I want to get your perspective on how you and Jeff and John got together. When did you come into that group as far as doing car shows? And I know John and Jeff were neighbors. Where do you come in?
Jeff and I, our kids went to school together, a little Catholic school around here, and that's where we met up.
At Christ the King?
At Christ the King.
Yeah, I went there through 5th grade.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I went there when the church, which is now the gym, that's how long ago I went there.
Yeah. But Jeff was going there, and we were, and I had done this car in 07, and Jeff didn't get his car until 16 or 17, I think. Okay. And regrettably, once it was done, it was in my garage, in between raising kids and life.
Sure.
Yes.
I probably drove it 3 times in 10 years. I'm ashamed to admit that, but anyway, Jeff got his car, and he called me up one day and said, "Get your car out." So the funny part of that story is I went and got it, tried to get it started, and the battery that I bought in 07, by now it was 17, that I used 3 times, was already dead.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So I had to buy a new battery. But anyway, that's how that connection happened, and Jeff is real good about calling me up, and he's the one that keeps an eye on the shows.
Yeah.
Social chairman, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Keeps you guys
exactly.
going. Keeps you moving.
Yeah. So it's worked pretty well, and I have other buddies that have cars, so we kind of drug them into it as well.
Yeah,
So
it's always
giving
good.
them. I have a friend who has probably 30 cars and nice
Wow.
cars, and
Wow.
I called him up to come to a show, and he said, "I can't. None of them will run it."
That's the way.
Yeah,
Huh?
I said, yeah. I said, yeah.
And this guy's a mechanic by profession, right?
So, yeah. But he's a
That's
busy
what-
guy.
yeah.
He's a busy guy.
Well, good.
All right. So with this one, you got the it's automatic, and then everything underneath is stockish.
Yes. Leave it here. So we're going to put some bigger springs on it, and I'm going to put some bigger tires on it.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So little touches here and there and all that stuff. So that's definitely if you're, again, we use it to cruise in, we use it for car shows, and the cool thing about car shows is that whenever you bring out your friends, then you can sit with your chairs behind the cars and you can shoot the breeze and all that while you're killing time.
Good time.
And it works out. You can catch up with a lot of different things, and we do our best not to invite the guys with nicer cars because then you might not win. So no, invite everybody. Bring them out. It's always for a good cause.
Good cause.
There's always good charities involved and all that. So we encourage you to bring out your friends because it helps out the bottom line at the end of the fundraiser shows that we do.
Good
All right.
cause.
So great. Well, I think we can wrap this up and
Yeah.
move on to our next victim. Joe,
Yeah.
thanks very much
Yeah.
for coming out today.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. Good
Yeah,
to see you.
best of luck with all the upgrades and up changes coming up for you. Okay.
All right, stand
All
by.
right.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we're gonna see our next guy, and then we'll keep moving and grooving. We'll see you.
I'm going to Browning to get rebuilt.
All right, guys, we're still out here at Jesse's place. We're out here with Jeff. Quick story on Jeff here is that he's been out to quite a few of our shows, and he's one of my personal favorites just because I love the work that's been done to the car. And there's a couple of guys, whenever they come out and they pull up into the parking lot, you know that you're battling for second place because some of these cars, they just touch my heart in terms of the amount of work that's been done to it, and then in judging, we want everything to be touched in one way or another. So this one here is a resto mod. We'll get Jeff to tell us a little bit more about that, but it's just the things that were done to it were done very well, very clean. So enough of me gushing.
And I
Let's
think-
introduce you to Jeff.
So before we talk to Jeff, I think I need to interject that probably the color is one of the things that catches your eye. I know that with me it catches my eye, and we were just talking a bit ago, Jeff. Very unique color. What's the name of the color?
Lilac quartz.
Lilac quartz. Yeah, who would ever think, a color, lilac quartz for crying out loud? But I mean, it really complements and it draws you to your car. The other thing is, I don't think in '61 they had air. We just watched you back in and set it down on the ground. So
That's right.
was that something you did or something that your dad did?
My dad built that.
Your dad
Put
built
that in there. Yep.
So with that lead in, so tell us a little bit about the car. You said that in '16 you got it, but your dad had it prior to that. So can you send us back to that?
So it started out as a 4-year build. My dad got the car. It was a couple truckloads of pickup parts in the car off the frame. So it was a 4-year project. His next door neighbor had a body shop right next to where Dad was working. So every day for about a year after work, my dad would go over for about an hour or so and sand on the car.
So is that local here?
No, this is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. So, so my dad would say, it's like, is it ready? And they were like, no, keep sanding. So, for a whole year, he was, sanding on the car every day after work for a while. So, total labor of love. The car originally is from North Dakota.
Okay.
And the guy my dad got it from was in the process of doing the restoration, and he kind of wanted to change angles and go a different route. My dad had already bought an '02 Camaro State Trooper car that for the LS1 for the motor swap. So he's like, I got a motor, I got to find a car. And so he found the '61, and kind of that's the direction he went. The original guy kept that motor that he had. He put that in a different project. And then that started the process for doing that for this car. So it's got the LS1 out of an '02 Camaro, 350 horse, 21 miles to the gallon. Great driving car. 4-wheel disc brakes. He put air ride suspension. It's got vintage air conditioning. So
now you got it. So take us from that
So I
point
got
forward.
it. So my dad put it together and he showed it for about 9 years.
Okay.
And so in 2018, I retired from the Navy, and he's like, I think I'm done doing all the car shows. I'm ready to like to keep the car in the family. And I was like, I'd really like to receive the car in the family. So that's my dad's hand-me-down, and I'm carrying it on. And it wasn't long after that, my son says, hey, when do I get the car? And I'm like, I haven't even had it a year yet. You got to slow down.
Right. But that's a good sign. That's a good.
Yeah.
He's showing interest and would like to become involved, and possibly
Exactly.
maybe get his own.
And my grandson is all about cars too.
Oh,
So
nice.
they're
Good.
already both lined up. I've had many people offer, can I buy the car? And I was like, it's a family heirloom. There's already 2 people lined up waiting behind me to get it. So
Yeah, you better watch out for people taking out insurance policies on you, buddy.
right.
How bad do you want this car, huh?
Yep. So getting back to the color, you asked about that. It's actually an '86 stock GM color, and they added some metal flake to
Okay.
it to kind of make it pop a little bit. And he went back and forth a long time to pick out that color.
Oh, for sure.
Very nice. Yeah.
He had a '34 Chevy before this that he showed for about 11 years, and the colors were similar to this, and that's kind of where he got the ideas for these colors for this car.
So we understand in talking to the other two, Joe and John, that you are the kind of the social chairman here.
Right.
How did you find yourself in that position, just with these guys coming here to Justice Place and then going to car shows and all that sort of stuff?
So social butterfly.
Okay.
Love to get the guys together, and it's more fun if there's more than one, right? So I'm the guy setting up, hey, let's go. We look at the blog, Tidewater Car Lovers, and see what shows are going on.
For sure.
And then line everybody up, hey, what are you doing Saturday? Let's go to the show. We meet for breakfast, and then we have 5, 6, 7 cars leaving from here, heading to a show. So it's been a
of
lot
course,
of
this
fun.
year has sucked for car shows, as we know, and then we were able to get a couple of them kicked off. So we're
Right.
hoping after the first of the year to be able to maybe things will relax a little bit as far as restrictions and whatnot, and be able to get back to some sort of normalcy with
Yeah.
car shows.
For
We've
sure.
already started plotting stuff on the calendar and all that, putting our placeholders and all, but everything is a dynamic situation that we're going through right now.
For
But
sure.
yeah, we missed out on some things, but we're still able to get in some different. We changed. We wound up doing birthday cruises, and we wound up doing different things that were responsible and socially distant, and masking and all that other stuff. So we just made some adaptation because we couldn't stop the desire for the shows. People like to get out, they like to see their friends, and sometimes that's the only place you get to see those guys. And you may know them by their car, but still, that car, that guy, and you wave your ties and all that. So it's just nice to have that. It's a different situation. What I tell people is that when we go to car shows, I don't worry about work, I don't worry about the family, I don't worry about any of that other stuff, because this is my time to decompress and hang out and do stuff that I like. Because that's always neat to have that as an outlet. So we don't fish, we don't drink, we don't do the other things unless we do. But when it's car show time, we don't even think about those things.
So how much has your son been involved with you and doing anything more to this?
So not yet. I had to do a few things since I've got it from Dad almost 3 years ago now, and I already got winter projects. Going to put a stereo in, and got a few other things I want to touch up and do. So it's a working project like anything, right? You always got stuff to do. The biggest thing that my dad always liked was sharing the car, getting thumbs up from people's, and that's the part is the fun,
Sure, for sure. I got a couple of things. Is that so even though we got the car given to us, you know how to fix the car because we were out at Priority Ford and you were up underneath this car because there were some issues.
Yes.
So there was something going on with the air, and then you had to repair it right there.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know much about it because I didn't build that part of it, or wasn't involved. And sure enough, it hung up. It left us hanging there, and I'm like, how are we going to move this car? It's sitting on the ground, one side down. And I got smarter about the system, and that also is an update. I got to clean that up this winter as part of my projects there. But luckily, we got it put together and banged on it with a wrench, and it came back to life. And,
there you have it.
And
bigger hammers.
Well, before we didn't have any tools, and now we all have tools, tow ropes, jumper cables,
jumpers,
tire pump. We carry all that stuff just in case.
Right. And that day, you probably still want a best in show, even though I saw you working on the doggone thing in the lot.
I think I did actually. Yeah.
All right, and the other thing is that we're Facebook friends, so I see you with this car in different states. So, are you towing this thing, or how reliable is the drive on this thing?
It's extremely drivable, reliable. It's got almost 35,000 miles since my dad did the rebuild.
Nice.
So it's a driver. I put on 5,000 miles since I've had the car, coming up on 3 years. So,
Okay.
driven to Pennsylvania, driven to North Carolina. So
yeah, that's great to be able to have that kind of confidence in your build, and even still with the air ride, everybody says, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Something can happen with any kind of build. So it's just a matter of knowing your vehicle and knowing the limits, and then going forward and having some fun. We got money to spend, so let's spend it and make some memories.
Sure.
exactly, it's all about making memories.
Absolutely.
All right, well, very good. I think we look forward to you bringing it out. We look forward to any changes that you have coming up. Good luck with all of that. Again, very cool for meeting us out here at Jesse's place. We appreciate all you guys. We'll do a little wrap up with everybody here in just a bit, but really just want to say thank you for organizing these guys, because he was my contact to get the other two out here. So I think it worked out pretty good, and hope you enjoyed this on the road episode. So we're going to be out on the road again, and it's probably just gonna be colder and colder because we still got a lot of stuff lined up, but it's we got the sun out here, so we're thankful for that.
Yep,
For sure.
We'll see you all soon. I want to say thank you to Jeff for coming out.
Thanks
John
for
and
having
I, we're gonna see you in just a bit
See you in
to
a
do a
bit.
wrap up.
We want to thank Jeff, Joe, and John for joining us on this On the Road series. We really appreciate you giving us your amazing stories and sharing your beautiful rides with us. We want to remind everybody that we have a raffle coming up for the charity truck. Don't forget about that. The 15th of every month, we'll be giving away something really cool. So go to our Facebook page or cvautoshow.com for updates. We'll see you on the road.
So before we say goodbye, do we want to say thank you to our sponsors today?
Absolutely. VPI Services, thanks to Eric for all his support. Also, Rooster Concepts. We appreciate what they do for us. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the road.
See you on the road. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
String me up just a couple